Welcome to the Hank Cisco Show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't touch that dial. This show is going to be about local people, okay? And one successful person who was involved with movie making and writing books and born and raised in Norristown. But before I introduce my guest, I just want to make a little statement here. Just recently, I attended a wake of my good friend Mike Pesta, who was a Norristown newspaper reporter. He covered City Hall, police, and the courthouse. Johnny Nicola, who was a reporter who wrote for Bridgeport. He covered Bridgeport. Everybody knows Johnny Nicola, and he made sure everybody knew Bridgeport. And Dick Dean, who was the editor, and also he covered the old social clubs and the Eagles, the Moose, the Elks, and the whole of them. And Red McCarthy, great sports writer. You know, these guys. Now, their contributions to the community are known by anyone who has ever lived in the Norristown area for any period of time. Our community needs many more giving individuals like Mike, Johnny, Dick, and Reg. God bless all four. You know, Notre Dame had the Four Horsemen, you know, great football team. The Norristown Times-Herald had the four reporters that kept Norristown informed. They covered the news like the dew in the morning. May God take care of them, and may they rest in peace. They were my four friends, and God bless them. Okay, so now, my guest today is a local fellow, born and raised in Norristown, went to school in Norristown High School, Holy Savior, Rittenhouse, Washington School, you know, the whole thing. Like me, I went to about 10 schools. Not that they threw me out, just that they were closing the schools down and, you know, evaluating, they call it. I don't know what they call it, you know, whatever. So, okay, now, my friend, Jonathan Cross from Norristown, Pennsylvania. And he is a filmmaker, film, like movies, okay? And also an actor and a producer. Now, without further ado, welcome to the Hank Cisco Show.
Thank you, Hank. It's good to be here.
Now, tell me now you went to Holy Savior School. You're educated here in the Norristown area, right?
Yeah, I went to Holy Savior School, then went on to public school at Rittenhouse and Norristown High School.
Okay. Now, how'd you get involved in writing books and producing a movie?
Well, initially I was a professional musician for 11 years. I was a drummer. Yeah, well, primarily in rock bands.
Huh? Like Gene Cooper?
Close. Not as good as him, though.
You know, I kind of looked a little like Gene Cooper one time.
Little
bit.
bit.
Looked like, you know, it's
He was the Elvis Presley of drumming, actually.
Aye.
He was good. But I had left the music industry and actually went into retail management. But as I was working in retail management, I kept thinking about the times I had in the music industry. So I decided it would be a great idea to write a book.
Okay.
So I did, in fact, move ahead, and I wrote a novel loosely based on my life called Cry of the Drummer.
What's it called?
Cry of the Drummer.
Okay. Well, what'd you get that title?
Well, the reason I called it Cry of the Drummer is because the story in itself is about a drummer who's struggling to make it big in the music industry.
That's tough business.
He's kind of like crying out.
I was in the boxing business, you know. You had to have the right manager, the right everything to move forward.
It's a similar thing, and actually drumming and boxing have something in common. Also, another thing is that timing is very important in both of them.
If you don't have you're not at the right place at the right time, pow, you're out.
Absolutely. So I thought of this story, you know, that I wanted to write about this guy in South Philadelphia who was an aspiring musician, but he was involved in some illegal things down in Philadelphia. So finally, you know, he met the right girl, and he got the right connections, and he woke up one day and he says, you know what, I want to be a professional musician. And he ends up catching a break in a big rock band. And that's how I came about to write the book, when I thought of the story, called Cry the Drummer.
Hold that up so I can see that, or I won't like that. And now you've got another book there.
Well, this actually is a film. What I had done is
with a film, okay.
With this particular book, I had submitted to a lot of major motion picture companies to see if they wanted to make it into a screenplay for the big screen, and I wasn't really getting any feedback. So there was someone from Norristown who actually inspired me to make a film So I started getting some information on filmmaking, spoke to other filmmakers, did some studying, and I was able to make the film Cry of the Drummer from the book,
Oh, okay.
which was actually produced in 2001, and it's still selling to this day. You know,
Yeah.
it's moving along. It's kind of like a cult classic now.
Now, where was most of it shot?
Most of this film was shot in Norristown, Bridgeport, and then there was one scene shot up in New Hope on the bridge, actually, that goes from Pennsylvania to Jersey. We shot right on that walking bridge there,
And
which made a beautiful scene.
well, what's it's all about now? You shoot it. You go to a scene. What kind of equipment you use?
Well, filmmaking takes a lot. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a pretty tough job. What you have to do-
Lighting,
yeah,
sound.
There's lighting. There's sound. You got to have a good cameraman. You got to have good locations. You have to have a lot of good cooperative actors. And then, you know, in the end result, then you got to go to the editing room, and that's really where the film's really put together.
That's where my friend John Doyle comes. You know, he's
Yes.
a guy that
John is really familiar with the editing
Norristown
process.
appreciate what he does here at the Norristown High School and also down at the
Absolutely.
theater.
Yes.
You know, he does a lot with creative ideas, with singing and dancing, and the shows down at the Center Theater. It's unbelievable.
As a matter of fact, John, he allowed me and one of my filmmaker friends to shoot a scene here in the studio for my latest film, The Bookie,
Oh yeah.
which was really interesting. Yeah, so we shot a newsroom scene here.
What was that about?
The Bookie's based about it's actually about a guy that's a bookie in Norristown.
Booking numbers.
That's right, in Norristown and Bridgeport.
Now they were booking. They used to go to jail. Now you play the bookie, the numbers and the same thing. And
You can play
nobody
the
goes to
PA
jail.
lottery.
You play the numbers, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So this character, he's floating around. He's been in the business a long time. He's done really well, but he's faced a crossroads. He's starting to see a lot of bad things going on. So he's starting to have some doubts about the business.
You know, I'm a
there.
former policeman. Did I lock him up?
You may have. You may have locked him up one time, as a matter of fact.
so-
I'm not sure if he got arrested or
Well,
not.
what really? I think I touched about what inspires a guy to do things like this, to do creative movies, and like John Doyle, you know, his mind's always thinking about a show or characters and who's going to play a certain part and all. What gives you that inspiration?
Well, me personally, that was always a dream of mine that was just kind of instilled in me as a kid. I always had, you know, thoughts of going to Hollywood and making movies and being in movies. I always had aspirations of being a drummer. So these things kind of grow on you. And then as you grow and you have cooperative parents, my parents were very cooperative with this. So they really inspired me to do a lot of it too. And it just grows on you. And eventually, you know, you lean towards that and you start learning more about the business. And and also another thing is, I fortunately have some leadership qualities, which was allowed me to direct a film and produce it and so forth. So I think it's something that's got to really be in you initially.
Yeah.
It's not something you just take on, you know. Once again, it's like boxing, you know, if you're around it, it's,
You got to surround yourself with good people, right? And these people will give you some knowledge or inspiration or enthusiasm. Well, enthusiasm you have to build yourself, you know. But
this film,
tell me about this film.
this film here is my first film. I learned so much from this film. That's really
Hold it up.
what sparked me up to make more movies, you know. As a matter of fact, we have a trailer for this film right now. I think they're going to show it for us.
Oh yeah, should we show a clip
Yeah,
or
they're
something?
going to roll a clip of it, actually, the trailer for Cry of the Drummer.
Okay, well, why don't we go to that? Get the clip, and then we'll know what we're talking about. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All righty, good. And we'll come right back.
You know something, Rosanna? I feel blessed. You know, this may sound strange, but I feel like angels are watching over me or something.
So you're really done with the music, huh?
I still wish I'd have made it to the big time.
John, those were kids' dreams.
Welcome to the Scott Matthews Band, Johnny.
Hey, thanks a lot, Scott. Guys in a band never agreeing on nothing. Never seeing the light of day. Quite honestly, it's a wasteland.
And I can't believe I spent 28 days here. No cocaine, no alcohol. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to get through this. What's going down here? What's happening here, man?
Johnny, my man, you're just busted.
Busted. It's a wonderful life, huh, guys?
Well, it's great to see your accomplishments, for something like this. And born and raised in Norristown, come over, write books and all. So we have, in Norristown, we have some talented people. We have Charlie Blockson, who writes the Underground Railroad, Black History. We got Spinelli, that writes the children's books. We have you. So I'm sure there's other people out there that I don't know offhand, but we're very gifted. Norristown's gifted to have these people with talent, and so I'd like to see you continue doing. So now tell me what else you got in the front burner.
Well, my second film, Goodbye Charlie Damien, which was actually shot in 2003, wasn't actually edited until 2008. And now recently, Amazon.com has taken the film to have it for download, or you could rent the movie, which was a good thing, as well as Cry the Drummer. So we're going to see how that works out with sales. It's another 2-hour film. It's a feature film that was shot primarily in Norristown and Bridgeport and some surrounding areas.
What's like? Give me a little something about it. Like
Charlie Damien's actually about a guy that comes home from Las Vegas because he initially left his hometown.
Went over there to get rich.
Well, he had some problems in his hometown. He went there and he fell back into some old habits.
He went to Vegas.
Yeah, and he had to come back home.
Yeah, I don't know a guy that he went to Vegas in a $40,000 Mercedes, and he come back with a $160,000 bus.
Exactly.
So
that could happen.
Yeah, well, it happens.
This character came back because he lost everything, and he comes back to this area again, and then he finds out he's got more problems than he did before when he left. He's actually being hunted down by some loan sharks after leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah, when that's what happens, you start borrowing money, and that's where they start fighting among themselves, and they don't, if somebody owes them money, they don't call the police and say, look, that guy owes me some money. They go over there and collect it. If they don't, then that's when the violence comes in,
Absolutely. And this particular character had a close encounter with death, believe me, but he was able to raise the money to pay these guys. And
how did he raise it? Gambling?
Well, he had a rich uncle.
Oh.
Actually.
Well, that's what they say.
But he hadn't seen his uncle in years, and he went and he humbled himself.
That's what the guy said. He says the only way to make fast money is to rob a bank or somebody dies and leaves it to you.
Leaves it to you, exactly. So.
Yeah, but we don't want you robbing banks.
But Charlie Damien is a really inspirational story as well as a sad story. The last 3 scenes of the film are the best part of it.
Oh, yeah?
It's a tragic, there's a tragic, part to it. But in the end result, this guy does come out victorious and is able to start living a clean life again.
It's good inspiration or something.
It is. It shows, some of the tragedies that can happen in life, but how you can, in fact, come out of them tragedies and be victorious again.
Well, in other words, it's a good ending.
It is a good ending.
Right.
The last 3 scenes are the best, but the actual last scene is a really good ending, and it closes out really well. Yeah, I was really happy with it.
All right, some of the locations that you shot around Norristown area, you recall?
Well,
I'm sure you recall, but
like I said, we shot a lot in Bridgeport. We shot in Conshohocken at the 401 Diner down there.
Or the diner there on the Fayette Street?
That's right. We were able to shoot there. One scene in Conshohocken. But in Bridgeport, we shot along 4th Street a lot in some of the establishments. And I think most of it was actually shot in Bridgeport and Conshohocken. There was, I believe, a few. Oh, we also shot in Worcester, PA.
Worcester.
Up there.
Okay.
Yeah, we shot at Faith Church up there.
Oh, yeah.
It
That's.
was actually the ending scene of the film when we shot up there. So we had some beautiful locations, too. I mean, cinematically, it looks fantastic.
Right.
And I do want to mention the lead female role was given to a woman named Molly Ray, who was from Philadelphia, who now lives in Washington State, who was a fantastic actress. And I just spoke to her maybe a week ago on the phone, and she's doing really well. She's not acting anymore, but I'm trying to get her to start again. She was really good, so I wanted to just thank her.
What kind of actress? What kind of actress? What is like? Singer, dancer, or what?
She was just primarily
Dramatic?
a
Dramatic?
good dramatic actress. She was very natural. Her and I worked really well together. I really she was very cooperative, very punctual. In addition to that, she was Miss Pennsylvania in 2000. She had told me about.
Well, Miss Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Well, her name wasn't Turlaki, was it?
No,
Remember
it
her?
wasn't.
She
Yeah, I
was-
do.
She was Miss Pennsylvania.
She was from our area, right?
Yeah, she was from Bridgeport.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And her mother used to sell tickets at Norris Theater. You know, when I was
Yes.
used to go there. You know,
Absolutely.
when everybody used to go to the Norris Theater on
That's right.
Saturday afternoon. You know, I think children was 15 cents and adults was 35 or 45 cents. You know, that was a big deal.
But you
now
were
you
right.
go to movies because you have $5.
It's more than that.
More than that. Well, I don't know. I haven't been there for a while. You know, I'm so busy with the
You're
TV.
busy all the time. Yeah, exactly. But no, I remember that on Saturday afternoons was a big thing to go to Norris.
Right,
It
right,
was.
right.
And
That-
the Grand.
Huh?
The
And,
Grand
the
Theater.
Grand, the Garrick.
Garrick, I don't
Theater,
remember.
the Westmore up on Marshall Street.
Yeah.
And then they had the Gloria was down at Main and Arch Street. Now it's a Mexican restaurant.
My mother and dad told me about
Right.
that.
That was
yeah.
the Gloria. Then it had the name the Towers, and then it had a little had a nickname called the Stinks, because they used to have a show there, one show after another, and the kids wouldn't get up and go out when the show was over. They wanted to stay for the second show.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't go to the toilet. If they get up to go to the toilet, somebody take their seat. So
That's right.
they called it the Stinks because they didn't go to the toilet. Whatever. I don't know. That's passed on. That day's gone. Now we're going to go. Okay, let's look at this clip here, okay?
All right.
Good.
You know, Joey, I never thought I'd get tired of this town. I mean, we're making money. We got broads anytime we want them. We got nice cars. Life is good. We're lucky. But why am I getting tired of it all?
Listen, Louis. Tommy wants to see you.
About what?
I don't know, it's Jimmy D, you know, he's doing all that blow.
It's not just the drugs anymore. He's down the club every night. He's all hopped up, drinking like a pig. I hear he's starting to talk too much, saying things he shouldn't be saying.
Is it true?
Is what true?
Drugs, dope. Did you go back?
Yeah.
It's over, Jimmy.
Louis, I've never asked you this before, but did you ever think about getting out of this crazy business?
And do what?
Louis, why do you do what you do?
I guess it's because I never knew anything else. My mother always told me I should have been a school teacher.
When I think about you out there with those gamblers and bookies and drug dealers, I just get worried.
Friggin' Big Ben. He's one scary guy. He's one of the few people I fear.
Your boy Jimmy D left a $2,000 debt behind.
If he can get by this 5-shot, let him come at me.
You're the next one to go, Louis. You're the next one to go.
My mother was right. I should have been a school teacher.
Okay, now you made two other short films. Okay, one Colin Augie, and the other one is Mickey Boy.
Yes.
Two short films.
That's right.
Tell me real short, fast. What are they about?
Well, Calling Augie is about a guy who's involved in some illegal matters and so forth. He's kind of dealing in diamonds, stolen
Wheeling and dealing.
diamonds, wheeling and dealing. He's doing really well for himself. He's got a girl that he really likes, but she's actually getting fed up the business he's in. She wants him to go into something legitimate. He won't do it, so in the end, in this short film, she ends up leaving him because she just gets fed up with everything he's doing. He's kind of like left hanging. This film was actually made primarily as a promotional tool to show to major studios with the full-length screenplay. So I'm still working on that. Hopefully, somebody's going to take interest in it.
Okay,
at
now
some
about
point.
Mickey Boy.
Mickey Boy, there's an interesting story. Mickey Boy, the Norristown Times-Herald had put a little segment in the paper about me doing something for Mickey Boy. This is at the time when the big hype was in about the movie studio.
Yeah.
Well, everybody was so excited because I says I was going to shoot a sitcom over there, plus I was going to shoot this short film, Mickey Boy. I got over 150 resumes from all local residents. It was remarkable. So it was an exciting time, but I want to stress that Mickey Boy is a fascinating story about a guy who just comes home from prison, and he ends up writing a screenplay on his own life. And one of the actors in it is or should I say actress, is Leanne Fusco, who was from Norristown.
Yeah.
She was one of the women that sent her resumes in because her parents were very enthusiastic about it, inspired her to do it. She was a great actress. She really was. Right. And she never really had any acting lessons, but she just took a big interest in it and did a fantastic job. She played actually a news reporter for the Norristown Times-Herald. The reporter's name was Molly Stone, which I want to mention too real quick. The trailer for Mickey Boy can be seen at youtube.com. If they put in Mickey Boy trailer, they could see the trailer to it. It's a really good trailer, and it was an exciting time, like I said, for Norristown.
All right, let's get back to that other film.
The Bookie?
Yeah.
The Bookie
no,
is...
the one we were talking about, the first one, or...
You mean Cry the Drummer?
Right. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, I think we were going to talk about the Bookie.
That's it, the Bookie, that's right, I'm sorry.
The Bookie is something I've been wanting to actually do for the last 5 years, but I have been writing some other things. I did the short films and so forth. It was on the back burner for a while. So I thought it was time to start writing a screenplay for it. And what I had did as I was writing the screenplay, I actually start auditioning people in the midst of writing.
Oh, okay.
And scouting locations. And, you know, being from Norristown, coming from the east end of town, you know, we all heard about a lot of these things going on. We read about them in the papers and so forth. I said, this would be a great story. So, and I wanted a lot to play the lead role because I just felt like this was this character.
Going to make a role about me sometime.
One of these days.
One of these days.
We're going to do a documentary. I keep telling people that. That's a great idea.
So,
so what we did is we got some permission from the Norristown Police Department, the Bridgeport Police Department, who were very cooperative, by the way. And incidentally, I want to give special thanks to Russell Bono, the chief, and Lieutenant McKean, who's now the chief up in New Hanover. And, McEwen.
Yeah.
And Zenny Martinick, the chief over in Bridgeport.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They all were a big help. And McEwen actually is in the film as a detective, yes. But we shot in Norristown. We shot on Arch Street. We shot over in Bridgeport along 4th Street. We shot in the back of Bridgeport where all the quiet homes are and stuff. And once again, it's about a guy who's a bookie. He owns some real estate to show that he has some kind of legitimate business. And he runs into a lot of different problems. He loses actually a couple good friends who were killed. Well, actually, one of them died through a suicide, and one of the young girls was actually shot accidentally by a drug dealer in this film. So it was pretty tragic. So it all boils down to he was really kind of like at the end of his rope.
Mixed up.
And his girlfriend left him, went to Florida. So finally he made a decision to go to Florida and open up a legitimate business. And his girlfriend...
What kind of business?
A restaurant, Italian restaurant of all things.
Italian restaurant?
Exactly.
Oh, all right.
So we'll have to visit that restaurant sometimes.
You go down and visit.
Exactly. But he goes back with his girlfriend and they just go to Florida and live happily ever after.
Well, that's good. I want to hear happy things, you know.
But it's a great dramatic story. Cinematically, once again, this is one of my best films because we had a new camera, and I learned a lot. The lighting was fantastic, the colors. So it was a great film.
Right.
So.
That's very important. The camera, right? So.
Well, one of the things in a camera but one of the most important things about a camera is the lens that's used. You got to use the right lenses. That's how Hollywood gets a lot of these different effects and so forth. You know. But I want to make note, too, that the trailer for the Bookie is also on YouTube.com if they go into the Bookie trailer, if they haven't seen it yet on this show.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Oh, one more thing that I mentioned, we're going to have a screening of the Bookie, too, in the near future at the Movie Tavern up there in Collegeville.
Well,
it'll be a big screen premiere.
Well, I'd like to come back again and we'll do another show or something with some of the, you know, the ones you're completing. Yeah. But, you know, I mentioned earlier, and I want to emphasize a little bit more about the talent we have here in Norristown. And I want to add one more name. I said Charlie Blockson, Spinelli, Cross. I want to add one more. John Doyle.
John Doyle.
Producer, director,
absolutely,
actor, everything, you know. So when we talk about talent in Norristown, I'm going to put that in there.
He's good as...
You know, I've been doing this for over 20, going on 23 years now. And I took no lessons or anything. I just got I had a Japanese police officer come visit Norristown, and on Pearl Harbor Day, and I called up and I said, boy, it'd be good to interview this guy. He says, bring him up. So at that time was Tony Coyer was here, and so they said there's nobody to interview him. So I interviewed the guy, and next thing you know, I started this show. Was
And I think we should add one more to that too, Hank. One more talent.
who? Tell me.
Hank Cisco. Let me have
Oh
you.
no.
It's the champ here.
No,
I think we should, because I remember the times when you taught a lot of young kids how to box. My father spoke very highly of it
yeah.
because he boxed.
He boxed for me.
And my brother used to go around, which is when you had the PAL, you used to go to different places. But I
Right,
used to go
right,
and cheer
right.
for him. But no, I really want to commend you on all your work. I mean that sincerely.
Well, we had a pal who used to be boxing. We went up to Boys Protectory up there, and all tough kids, you know. They were sent in by Philadelphia courts. You know, and they would call it Fatland then. I don't know what they call it now. And we went up there and boxed them. They were supposed to be so tough, all bad guys. We beat them. 9 fights out of 10.
Because of your training.
So, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, our half hour's over, and this is a great inspirational show that has a lot, which we say, a lot of legs. We're going to be able to see different shows were produced and directed right here in the Norristown area. So, Jonathan Cross.
My pleasure.
I appreciate
Thank you, Hank.
coming here. And so, what do we say tonight? Little thing here. We say in Italian, alla salute. Right? And I, as a little token of appreciation to coming on my show.
Thank you, Hank. I
So,
really
ladies and
appreciate
gentlemen,
that.
thanks a lot for allowing us to come into your home.
Thank you so much.
And we really appreciate the fact that we're able to spread good news, good stuff. And there's no makeup, no nudity, no profanity. Everything is right on the ball, okay? So until we meet again, keep bobbing and weaving, slip and slide, and God bless each and every one. Grazie.
Amen.
A salute.
Thank you. That's great.